There he is. There he come
Got
up.
him.
Come up there and grab that thing. Come off the end of that little old bush right there, Don. Yeah, come here, buddy. Little player there. Yeah. We're fishing in Mexico today, in Mexico. Oh, that's a little heavier than he looks, isn't he? I'm fishing with my buddy Don Albert from Columbia, Missouri, or Harlingen, Texas. Depends on whether it's wintertime or summertime. Right now, he's here with us at Huites on Mexico. And we're going to do a little spinnerbaiting today. We know we hadn't fished Huites. We fished this lake, what, Don, about 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was about 3 years ago, Jimmy, when it was. A little bit colder than this.
And we caught an awful lot of fish. We caught some really big fish. Hopefully, we can catch something that weighs 7 or 8, 9, 10 pounds. I don't know, but that's a good start right there. The lake is dingy. You know, this thing was crystal clear when we were here before.
Real clear, crystal clear.
But that's a good start right there. Goodbye, buddy. We really don't know what to expect. We may have to switch over and try some crank plugs or try some worms or whatever, but we're starting out early this morning with a spinnerbait and see how that works out, because we really caught them here before on spinner plugs. Water seems higher to me, though, quite a bit higher. Yeah, Ollie, come here, buddy. That's a little bit better fish there now. God, he's right on the bank. That was, I mean, I turned that handle about, well, he's about like those others. I turned that handle one time and he got it. I mean, one time. Come here, pal. I'm not used to these 7-foot rods, Don. It's a little bit long for me. That's a pretty fish right there, isn't it?
That's a lot bigger than the last one.
Did he eat it? Look at that Terminator. I mean, it is gone. It is gone city. Oh, yeah. That's a pretty bass right there. You a pretty rascal. Yes, you are. Look at there. They must be beginning to get on the bed a little bit, maybe, even though it's January. Of course, the moon's full right now. Goodbye, buddy. I'm using a 3/4 ounce Terminator, and you really don't need that big a bait, particularly the way I'm fishing it. One of the reasons I put a big one on is because I get a little bit larger blade. You can put a larger blade on a smaller bait, but a 1/2 ounce or 3/8 ounce would probably be perfect. But that's a 3/4. But one of the reasons is I'm using a 7-foot rod, and I'll talk about these rods a little later on. But these are some really heavy action rods, a little bit more heavy action than what I normally fish with. But I'll tell you why I've got them down here. And so I actually had to move up to a little bit heavier bait than what I normally use. And this is one of my favorite combinations. That's a Fire Tiger color bait. You can see the Fire Tiger on the head and the Fire Tiger in the skirt. Willow leaf blade on the end, and of course a Colorado blade on the kicker. Gold and nickel combination. That is about as good a combination as you can get. And I bet you if I catch about one more fish, I can probably sell this thing to old Don back here for more than retail.
Yeah, I got it.
Retail plus, right?
Retail plus. You bet, Jimmy.
Retail plus. I bet I can dig one of these out for you. What do you want to bet? Retail plus.
And it'd be worth it, too.
That looked like a topwater strike, didn't it? That one was cool. There he is. Come here, buddy. They're off out there about 10 or 15 feet away from that bank is where they are. And some of those, see it, not even hardly a bush there. You don't even hardly see a bush right there. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come on this boat here. They're not right on the bank. They're just off of it a little bit.
Were you off lower?
No, I was right up on top. He boiled right up on top and got it. I mean, right on top. Yes, he did. All right, every hit I've had has been right on top of the water. See those just kind of little bitty bushes there? Of course, there's a lot of bush under the water. Those little tops right there come right out of that top. Okay, Jimmy. Got him? You got him.
I think it's a nice fish.
I mean, he acts like he's making an awful big boil. I know that. Yeah, he's not bad. He had you around that. He had you around that stick, didn't he?
Yep, he sure did. He had me wrapped up there for a while.
It's a pretty good fish. He is a good
well,
fish.
I'll take him.
Bigger than I thought he was.
Just wear yourself out.
I saw him out there in that water. I thought he wasn't that big.
Just wear yourself out a little bit.
Got the secret color on there.
Yep, that's that high dollar Terminator.
Did we talk about the price of that bait, or did we just, you know, I mean,
not yet.
Has that been discussed yet? Or,
yeah, there it is. That did work, Jimmy.
Do we need to start talking about that now, or we need to wait a little bit?
We better start talking about it now. Look at there.
Let's wait a while.
Nice
That's
fish?
a pretty fish. That's a nice one. Let's just wait a while. You know, maybe we might talk about that like at lunchtime and see what happens.
Adios, amigo.
That fish was down a little bit, wasn't he? He hit it on top or down a little bit?
No, he hit it down.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thought he hit it down a little bit.
But he just nailed it, though. I'll take a few more like that.
You notice, though, see, we hit that steep bank up there, and we got where it flattens out a little bit. The fish don't seem to be on those real steep banks. They seem to be where it flattens out.
Whoa.
Yeah, buddy, where it flattens out. Come here, pal. That's not bad either. Oh, that's fish. Whoa! Tried to eat that trolling motor, didn't he? That's a nice fish. Yeah, buddy. Woo! That's what you come to Mexico for, is catch him like that. Yes, sir. Look at that guy. Woo! You know, the thing about it, Don, is there are thousands of them down here like that.
I'm ready to get one. That's beautiful fish.
Well, you're in the right spot, I believe, right here to get one. First, my pole is too long. Look at that fish. Look at the belly on that booger, will you? Boy, did he eat it or did he eat it? When you're handling a fish this big, you want to be real careful holding them up by their jaw and turning them very much, because it'll break their jaw. You want to get a hold of them like that, where you got hold their belly. Look how big that belly is. That's a big old female bass. I mean, a giant fish. Big old pretty fish. She is a dandy. Oh, she got some good sugar too. I'm telling you, look at that.
Beautiful fish. Beautiful
That is
fish.
a big fish right there. Woo! I like that. Goodbye, sugar booger. Watch her, watch her.
There she goes.
There she goes. Got him? You got him, don't you?
Little one.
Oh,
though.
yeah. Oh, yeah, here you go. Start
another
that
little
little
one.
one stuff. Oh,
come on in
He's
here.
not all that giant, is he? He's
Come
not
on.
bad, though.
Yeah, but that's great, though.
Little compared to what you wanted to catch. That's a nice
You-
fish.
now, that's right.
That
Got away on me.
quick release. He didn't get away. You turned him loose. When one does that, you say, oh, I got him up there and got everything I wanted out of him, turned him loose. But since you said he got away, we can't help you. Hey, we're in a hole of babies. Hadn't hit halfway back to the boat. The fish are up in these flat areas where it flattens out. You see what we are? See how it flattens out? This is a steep, deep lake. I mean a steep, deep lake. And when you get in the flatter areas, that's where you're going to catch a lot of fish. Now, you can catch fish off those steep banks, too, certain times of the year and using certain baits, but we really haven't hardly had a bite in those steep areas. But when we got where it's flat, that's where we seem to be getting the bites. And some nice ones, too. That fish hit halfway back to the boat, but I think it's just swimming around. He's afraid to get up there around one of them bushes. Something will eat him. That size I caught right there, that's just lunch. That's just an appetizer for some of them big bass. Oh, that's a good spot. That wasn't near as good. Oh, it was as good as I thought it was, too. Golly. That was so pretty. That was so pretty. You know what I like about coming down here to Huites? This ain't fishing, this is catching. We can go fishing anywhere. You come down here and go catching. Oh, golly, that's a heavy fish. You really shouldn't be lifting fish in like that. You're blown to break your rod doing stuff like that. But that's a 4-pound fish right there, and I just lifted him in like he was a 2-pounder. Yeah, buddy, you are a dandy. I don't want to break my rods. I didn't bring it before. You know, I mentioned I was using a little bit heavier rod than I normally use. This is a V-rod by Shimano. And the thing about it, I got these rods to go to Africa, and I packed them in my bow case, and it's a 3-piece rod. Now, you have 2-piece rods, a 3-piece casting rod. I don't know of any other 3-piece casting rods around. You see it comes apart right there, and it comes apart right up here. And the good thing is that when you take that apart, it's only about this long, so you can actually fit it in your suitcase. This is a 7-foot rod, And I carried them down here in my suitcase, and so I don't have to carry an extra rod tube or anything like that, and I got by with just one bag. But they're a little bit, and the reason they're heavier, I got one that's kind of a light action, but they're real heavy because I got a bite? I used them in Africa, tiger fishing. I used real heavy rods. They're not working too badly, though, are they?
No, no.
They're working just fine for these bass.
They love them. Take this jacket off and enjoy this beautiful weather down here in Mexico.
Here in a minute.
Beats that snow up in Missouri.
Golly. I mean, the instant it hit the water, he hit it. I can't get him out of the trees. Come out of that tree, guy. He's not bad. Not as big as I thought he was, but he's not bad at all. Oh, he's a nice fish. Golly. You talk about, he must have seen that coming through the air. Gee whiz. Come here, puppy. Oh, yeah, buddy. That nice? Hey, he's the first one that's just barely been hooked. All the rest of them had that bait way down deep in their mouth. That is a pretty nice fish. Well, I thought it was a giant there for a minute. Woo, yeah. Woo. Yeah, buddy. I like that. Ah.